Hi folks, welcome to this Insta Live series that I've decided to do. I think, during this time of coronavirus, we're all at home, but there's a lot to think about. There's a lot that we want to do that we're unable to do. And this is a great time to kind of look at it and figure out, how things are, how we want things to be. This is an absolute life changer. And of course, the entertainment industry has changed completely, like all other industries. And it's so important to talk about what is going on. And it'd be a great time to talk films, to talk about theater releases, to talk about how the entertainment industry has changed, is going to change, and how things are going to be different. And joining me now is Mr. Dhananjayan, who many of you, of course, know. He's a national award-winning author. He has produced many films. And welcome, sir. Welcome to this Insta Live with me, where we're going to talk about the OTT platforms and, of course, theatrical releases. How are you doing, Mr. Dhananjayan?
I'm doing very well, Lata. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I hope Corona times you're staying safe.
I'm staying safe. Doing a lot of work, writing, reading, and Insta chat to emails to a lot of things going on and videos.
Okay, that's great. That's great. It's important to keep busy during the lockdown, I think. And as I was telling our viewers, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. You're a stalwart in the film industry. You've worked with some of the biggest names here and in Bollywood, of course. And there's a lot of debate that's been going on recently, especially since the lockdown in our country. And not just, Bollywood, Collywood, and even talking about Hollywood. About films releasing on OTT platforms and not having theatrical releases. And I think the big debate started here in Chennai because of Surya's 2D production, Jyotika's film Pon Magal Vandal. But then going back a little bit, it's Hollywood which actually took the lead, I can say, when it comes to, doing a direct digital release, because you had Paramount selling The Lovebirds to Netflix. You had Universal selling Trolls, on pay on demand kind of service. And in fact, the Wall Street Journal said that it made $100 million, much more than what the original film made, which I think is a huge change, a game changer for the entertainment industry. And the coronavirus has changed life as we know it. And I think the entertainment industry, especially, is going to see a lot of changes. So coming back to OTT platforms and theatrical releases, what is your view on this?
See, you already explained very well. It's all begin in Hollywood, and Hollywood is very successfully shown that, through direct VOD, one can earn a lot of money. Okay. In a situation like this, where there is so much of lockdown and the theater possibility is going to be next to 6 months. So every producer has his own way of looking at how to exploit the content. And Disney tried it, and it was very successful. And here, Mr. Surya tried for his film Pon Magal Vandal, and Amazon Prime came forward and then picked up the film for without a theatrical release and as a premiere. But however, as you see the backlash which has happened in Hollywood, you see that AMC has threatened, saying that all subsequent film of the studio will not be released. And they are threatening, saying that we as theaters will go completely bankrupt if this trend continues. Now, this is a problem everywhere. Okay, let's be very clear. Not that in Hollywood, but across the country, this is a problem. So when we are dependent on stakeholders like theater owners, and we are talking about theater chains and distributors, these decisions cannot be taken independently, because we are not operating in silos. We are all operating as independent bodies. Okay. Interdependent bodies, when I'm saying that, producers are dependent on distributors, distributors are dependent on exhibitors, and, a chain of theaters are involved in it. Okay. Here, a lot of people have chain of theaters. It is not a single theater we are talking about. We are talking about theater chains. Some of them have, 30 theaters, 40 theaters. Some of them have 600 theaters.
Right.
Now, obviously, it is important that, you take them into confidence. You involve them in such decisions. Okay. Why I'm saying this is, when you take a decision on your own, this kind of repercussion is inevitable. We have to go through this. In this case, what we pleaded, with the theatre owners, as far as Pon Magal Vandal is concerned, is saying that okay, the deal has been already struck. Okay, the deal has been struck and then the content is already gone. So there is no way we can withdraw from the particular agreement. So at this stage, don't try to threaten and saying that no, if you do this, I will, completely ban all your films. These are all unfair kind of, strictures. What we said is like, let's sit together after the lockdown is over and arrive at, kind of film which can go direct OTT without any problem for theaters. The reason I'm saying this is, see, look at, 80-20 principle applies everywhere in business opportunity. 80% films actually contribute to only 20% of revenues in any theatrical business. Look at, there are 200 films releasing in Tamil. 160 films are releasing, in small and medium. They contribute to just 20% of revenues. That doesn't make any difference to the theatrical business. Okay.
Right.
But the balanced 20% films, which are, translating into 40 numbers, will actually contribute to 80% of the theatrical revenue. So what I was telling them, and a lot of theatre owners, we all started discussing, is that let's all be clear about that 20% films should be protected because they should go through the theatrical release before they go to the window of any other window, whether television premiere or OTT premiere. Okay, that is something we discussed with them, and we said that balance 160 film actually don't make a big consequence to them in the sense like, okay, if it comes, it's okay because anyway they'll run 1 week, 2 weeks maximum, and then they'll exit. Okay, it doesn't make a big difference. Occasionally, film make a difference, and keeping that occasional films don't try to dictate a overall strategy. Like none of the films should go into OTT. That's an overall strategy. You dictate means, right. I'm saying you decide your overall strategy saying no film should come OTT premiere. That right. is not a fair way of looking at this, in my view.
Okay.
Even in Hollywood, yeah, you just have a look at it. Suresh Production, which is controlling something like 600 theaters in Telangana, okay, and Andhra Pradesh, is going for a direct right. OTT release of their production. So how do you call it? So right. they are very clear about it. That small film at best will collect 3-4 crore share. Why do you bother about it? Let it go into OTT platform. That's a decision they've taken. That is how we are trying to replicate in Tamil Nadu also.
Right. I personally believe, my view is that there is a big difference between small and medium budget films and huge starers, like whether it's a Vijay film, Ajit film, or a Surya film, and so on. There is a big difference because no matter how much the OTT platforms can pay, there is a limit beyond which they will not spend from their pocket to acquire a film. And therefore, a big budget movie will, look at all avenues, in terms of revenue. An OTT platform can only give you so much of revenue. It's very fixed income. So why can't medium and small budget films be allowed to release, directly on digital media at a time like this, when we are very unsure of when theaters will open? And even if they do open, there are going to be a lot of restrictions which will be imposed by the government and even otherwise medically for the safety of the people. So given that small and medium budget, film producers don't have such deep pockets, and for them it is a big financial burden if they do not get their films released, why can't the industry be okay and say, you guys go ahead and release the films, I think it should be fine?
Okay, I'll tell you, that's where, Telangana government, Telangana film industry we should refer, okay? Look at it, the four-sided way of their operating, Suresh Production, Suresh Garu, he has taken a call and he has informed all his colleagues saying that, I am a theatre owner and also a producer. So I am going for OTT platform because, next 3-4 months, maybe till September, October, theatrical release is impossible. So let me go and exploit it and then finish up the film. See, that way it reduces the queue also. The number of films which are waiting to release, the queue also gets released. Okay, that is the stand they has taken, and no industry has actually made any ooh and cry about it. Okay, they just accepted it in Telugu cinema. In Tamil cinema, unfortunately, the fear is extending to, will this trend continue among the theatre owners? The fear is, okay, if we allow one Ponmagal Andal or if we allow one more film like this, will it extend to bigger films? Then what will happen to our business model of theatrical business? And let's not ignore, theatres are used to releasing every week 4 films. Okay, they've been very comfortably releasing 4 films, and a lot of films are used to go there and request for shows. I'm talking about, they don't get shows, they don't get theatres. In fact, a lot of small film release in 100 screens, maximum 60 screens, and get, Tamil Nadu entirely, they'll get only 150, 200 shows. Now, in a scenario like that, whereas there is a lot of, supply and there is a lesser opportunity to release them, they were at an upper hand all the time. And suddenly when the films get reduced, okay, there will be an even platform. that may not be very comfortable to everyone. Like, everyone feels that, we theater owners should have the wherewithal all the time to decide which film to screen or which film to ignore. If number of films reduces, that also it's a challenge for them. So they are looking at it from various aspects. Like, one is that, will this idea of OTT premiere extend to bigger film? If that happens, what will my model? And what will happen? All kind of fears are actually there in their mind. Okay, so that is the reason why. That is the reason why all these people made such a big thing. At this time, I need to tell you that we all had a discussion with the theatre owners. We all agreed, saying that let this Ponmagal Andal go, and we will take a call after this. Okay, that is, we'll sit together as all the forums, distributors, exhibitors, and theatre and producers. We'll all sit together and arrive at this possible solution. What kind of films can go OTT premiere, and what kind of premiere one can allow, and what kind of number of days window is required for bigger films in OTT. Is it 30 days or is it 50 days? We thought, we'll all sit together and arrive at a solution. And that's why right now it is kept in, cold storage for a discussion when the lockdown is remote.
Absolutely. But then again, I come back to this point that we are unsure of when this lockdown will be lifted. And even when it is lifted, coronavirus is here to stay. Before we discover a vaccine, it's going to be at least another 2 years before things really settle down. In this scenario, I understand that everybody is going through issues, whether it's the theater owners, whether it's the producers, whether it's the actors themselves, whether it's those creating web series and so on. Everything has come to a halt. The industry, there are a lot of people who have lost their jobs, and it's across industries. Now, in order to revive this industry, in order to see some kind of income, flow into the industry, don't you think that theater owners at this point should be more open to the idea of, embracing OTT platforms? Because OTT platforms are here to stay. Come what they say, however much they resist, right? It is here to stay. This is not going to go away. And in fact, you are going to see far more investment in the coming years in OTT platforms. We've already seen that it's picking up slowly in India, and people now want to make original content, for these platforms. So given that scenario, don't you think the theater owners should be more receptive to this idea?
They are not receptive in Hollywood, so please don't expect in Hollywood. It is impossible. Okay.
I'm asking in general.
But let me tell you. Anyone who looks at a technology which is a threat to their business model, they are not going to like it. Okay, right. See, it's like if I'm comfortable doing the business in a particular way, I'll love to be, I love to continue the same way for long years, right? I don't want to be threatened. Like, for example, let me tell you, like we are running a film institute right now, in a physical model where there is a classroom, where there is everything happening. What if tomorrow everything goes online? Then everybody can open a film institute, right? Without infrastructure, one can have one's, laptop and then keep doing it, classes. Then, there is no possibility of running a film institute, right? Now, I'm talking about everyone in the business model. They will feel a threat if there is something comes in technology, which is going to actually question the basic model of survival. The basic model of survival for a theater is like, screening the new film and, a lot of revenue coming through F&B, which is food and beverages. Now, everything going to be taken away. Online booking is a huge revenue, and there is a big revenue coming in from food and beverages. And, we are talking about parking. There are so many revenues connected to it. So one can't threaten the whole existence of a theater by bringing in a technology and saying that I'll release all the big film in that. So no theater owner is going to welcome a technology like this. So they had a huge problem when television came in, when satellite came in, and even when Kamal Haasan sir tried to do DTH.
Absolutely.
Okay, every time a technology comes in, they always have the fear, will it actually, take out the basic model of the business? But so far, technology has not threatened their business. Have a look at it. When the television came in, it didn't, threaten their business. It only enhanced their business. When, satellite channels came in, everybody was afraid that people are going to sit, all the time at home and watching films, in satellite channels. It didn't happen. People, always are going to theater and watching film. The same way D2H didn't, able to do any dent at all on the theatrical business model. Same way, they will realize over a period of time. So it's only nascent stage right now, right? It will take 2-3 years for them to realize we are going to coexist with OTT. There is nothing to fear about it. See, until then this initial hiccup will be there, initial fears will be there, and there will be certain, threats and demands and, conditions and blacklisting. All this will go on until everyone comes to an understanding that we are going to coexist. Like, we are now learning to coexist with COVID. We'll
Okay.
all learn to coexist with the OTT very soon. I am very hopeful that theatre owners to everyone will agree that we learn to coexist with OTT without being afraid of it through a proper guideline. Like we'll have a guideline which everyone should follow, whether distributors or theatre owners. Let me tell you, in the beginning of satellite channels, all the producers have come to an agreement. They were afraid of satellite channel taking away their running of films. You know
Right.
what they said? You can telecast after 1 year. This was a beginning condition. Okay, all the theatre owners have to, all the producers have to sign an agreement with the distributors saying that the telecast of the film will happen after 1 year. This was there for quite some time till 2015.
Right.
Only in 2015, everyone agreed for bringing down the window to 100 days.
Right.
Nowadays, all the agreements state when we sign with the distributor, it says the telecast of the film can happen in 100 days. Okay, so we brought down after so many years, we brought down from 1 year to 100 days window. Now that has been brought down to 50 days. Okay.
Right.
Now recent past, we brought it down to 50 days. The same thing like that, I'm saying right now, initial hiccup is going on with OTT platform. We'll all come to an understanding very soon when, everybody agrees that it doesn't really threaten. See, if COVID breakdown was not there, I'll tell you, this would not have happened at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
This would have been a very
Absolutely.
smooth exercise.
Yeah,
This would have been a
absolutely.
very smooth exercise where, there will be flood of films in, April, May. And, Surya's sir's company would have spoken to the theatre owners and say, boss, there is already a lot of queue. Let me go away from the queue and release it in OTT. They would not even bother about it. You know why? There are a lot of films anyway to release.
Right.
Okay, theatre owners would have felt it. No, anyway, I got a huge pipeline here. So why should I worry about one Ponmagalandal going away from the queue and then releasing on OTT? They would have left it. The situation right now for them, the biggest thing is, listen, I am stuck today. I have no business model running. I am struggling. I'm not able to pay the salaries to my staff. My theatre is, going empty. In the sense like it's shut down. And 40 days, I'm running with a lot of loss. And here you are there, you're going away and selling a film and you are escaping from the film, the film's business. So I don't want to accept it. It's a more of a spirit of saying that you're not sharing my burden and you're rather escaping from the burden.
Right.
But had this, lockdown was not there, if 2D has sold it directly, they would not have really made a big hue and cry about it. So right now, I'll say because of the situation only, all this, hue and cry has been made. But everything will, come down. Everything will be, everything will cool down, and they will understand the reason behind all this stuff. And I am very confident, we'll be able to coexist with OTT premieres also, our small and medium films, and the theaters running very good as always in the past.
Right. But that brings me to to a point that I wanted to raise when you spoke about Kamal Hassan. He, when Vishwarupam came out, he wanted to, of course, do a digital release, and there was a lot of hue and cry. There was a lot of challenges, and he ultimately wasn't allowed to. But today, given the pandemic, that is the situation for filmmakers today. And he probably had foresight. I mean, I don't know. One could say that people even at that time said he was too far ahead of his time. But today, that is the exact situation we're in, that, films are unable to release and due to a virus which came out of nowhere and it struck the entire world. But on one hand, while we have the digital platforms, the other aspect that we do not have in India is drive-in theaters, which is a huge area of business for Europe and the US. I think at least if we had drive-in theaters, then a part of this business would still not have been affected, isn't it?
Absolutely correct. See, drive-in theaters is a way to go. In fact, I would say, there are so many drive-in theaters right now, theatre business can continue.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, we don't have that kind of drive-in theaters because government will allow. If you have drive-in theaters, you are like you can the film and keep watching it. You just sit in your car and keep watching it. I will tell you, nobody will have any problem with the whole business model. They'll say that go ahead and do it because we have no problem. Right now, I hope Pratana opens up very soon in Jambakam, which is a drive-in theater. But I'm saying that for a drive-in theater business model to work, we need huge space. Where is such kind of space available in a city like Chennai city or any other city? See, drive-in theater is possible only in remote places. Unfortunately, we don't have that kind of wherewithal here. So only few can exist. That is what the reality. But I think, this is opening up a new business opportunity for a lot of people, at least in the outskirts market.
No, absolutely. I think this is an area which Indian, distribution and theater owners have never explored for whatever reason. And this is an area which, like you said, that people should start looking at, because coronavirus aside, I think this is a business model which can enhance the theater going experience for the audience. And it's not just the multiplex or, a standalone theater where you have to go, where there's so many overheads. Even I think the overheads would be cheaper rather than investment in land. And in a place like Chennai, even if you opened, like Prarthana is along the ECR, but even if you open it on the other side, towards the Bangalore highway and other areas, I think it will still be a huge hit, because there are a lack of theaters as you drive outwards into, away from the city, so to speak. But the other aspect which I also wanted to talk to you about, which I think is very important, you're a successful producer and filmmaker yourself. Filmmaking itself will have to undergo a change, isn't it? Because of coronavirus. There are so many issues that and restrictions that now need to be imposed. And one of the key things that I wanted to raise is, how many people do you now have on set? Because you have health and safety issues. Everybody works in close proximity. Our heroes typically have, a larger than life intro song, and there are some 100 dancers on set. What is going to happen to all the Vijay and Tala fans? What is going to happen to those songs and, films now?
I tell you, Lata, that today, if you take an average unit, we'll have not less than 80 to 120 people. If you take a bigger cast, bigger hero, not less than 500 people, okay? And 500, 2,000 people is minimum. If you take an example like a Bigil, it had all the time, 2,000 people there, 2,000 people in the set, okay? Such kind of scenario is impossible anymore, okay? Such kind of shooting is impossible. I don't think we can do it, at least in the next 3 to 6 months. What the government, when we met the government, minister said that, how many people we reach. Just 1 second, again and again.
Hello?
Okay.
No.
Now,
yeah.
Yeah. That's a call from the government now about the permission we sought. Okay. Now, what's going to happen is if there are 2,000 people, in a shooting set, it's impossible now. Government said very clearly, if it is less than 30, 40 people, we can do. Right. Beyond that, it's impossible. Okay. So what television and all, they're willing to look at it, because television is done in a very small set. Maximum 30 people, 40 people will be there, and one can do. Okay. Beyond that, they are not willing to look at it. They say post-production, we look at it. There are 3, 4 people and all. So I do see the next 4 months, 3 to 4 months, this will be the way to go. But after that, when things are settling down and, corona spread is very much under control, and this social spreading is not anymore happening in Tamil Nadu or across the country, they might open up. But even then, is it going to happen like, 2,000 people in a set? I doubt. People are going to be afraid. Until a vaccine is found, vaccine is there, until, everybody knows it, this will not spread anymore.
Yeah.
So it is going to be challenging. And maybe, the whole way of making film will change to what you call graphics-based shooting. Like it pay with all the green mat. We can recreate the same thing in green mat, right? See, the same 2,000, 3,000 people we can create in green mat like the way it is done in Bahubali or in many films. So I don't think it is a challenge. Okay, the filmmakers will find technological alternatives, to present the same way the grandness of films. Real 2,000 people may not be there, but we might create in graphics and still create that feeling of grandness.
But, talking about grandness, a lot of our directors believe in the grandiose scheme of things, believe in large scale filmmaking. Whether you take a Shankar or a Murugadas or an Atlee or even Rajamouli in Hyderabad, then you take Bollywood directors as well. What is going to happen to their style of filmmaking? Is there going to be a change? Will they have to rethink the way they look at cinema, making films for their audience?
I definitely think so. until there is a vaccine is there, and there is no more spread possible, the fear is going to be very much among all the people. See, shooting with 200 people also not possible, means the whole technology of shooting has to change. Okay,
Right.
if you are going to be restricted to shoot only with 80-90 people, then everything has to go to technology. Everything has to go to what you call motion capturing, the way it was done for films like some of the film Rajni sir has done, Kochodiyan.
Right.
That kind of thing we have to go for. Now we have no choice. In Hollywood, a lot of films are shot like that, with motion capturing. So we
Right.
need to go like that, where we are able to recreate the same impression, and yet you present that particular grandness. Because technology is there, and technology is going to be a possibility, and people will change the way they shoot the film in sport.
But
You can't
that,
shoot with the real people.
right, but that again means a lot more expenditure, isn't it? Because shooting with real people in India is far more cheaper than investing in technology.
Yeah. So we have to regroup. We have to regroup on the budgets. We have to regroup on the ideas. We have to regroup in the sense like all the film which were on the drawing table, where they looked at having in the set 2,000 people all the time. That will all change. I'm telling you, the whole way of making film is going to change.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
next year, in fact, all the people have postponed their film. Right now, if you look
Right.
at it, all the big films have postponed to next year or 2022, only because they want to study how long this shutdown is going to continue. What kind of audience going to come to the theater? Are we going to survive? This whole theatrical model. How is it going to go? And all this they want to study before committing further investment.
No,
So this is going to be a big
yeah,
change.
I think it absolutely makes sense given that this pandemic has changed every aspect of life. It's changed facets of the business. Every business, in fact, people are working from home now. There is even talk of doing post-production from home. That is something which I've been reading a lot about. So given that, and given that the scale of films might have to reduce, then what happens to the kind of films that we are making? That would also have to change, isn't it? Because I think a lot more people are now looking at slow burners. Trisha's 96, for instance, with the Vijay Sethupathi, was such a big hit that had a smaller cast, it had a smaller crew, I think, and not on a grandiose scale, but very emotionally charged, sentimental, and captured the audience. So, are the kind of films that are going to be made also going to change?
100% will change. In fact, if you look at my film Kabadadari, a lot of scenes, only two people are there in the scene, not more than two.
Right.
Like, in this frame, it will be like either a hero will be there, or hero with the heroine will be there, or hero with somebody will be there. That's all. It is not a
Right.
crowded set at all. Except for a few days we shot with a lot of crowd, or except for a few scenes where a lot of crowd is there, because people are going to choose such kind of scripts. Okay,
Right.
because we can't really afford to shoot with a lot of people. You can't
Right.
have 10 people, 10 artists with their assistants, everybody standing there. And such kind of grandness is going to be impossible now to shoot. So definitely we are going to see films which are under making right now going to face huge challenge. How they're going to shoot, how they're going to complete. Already I am worried about films which are already started. 50% shooting is done. Those films which are grand scale films, I'm really worried about how they're going to complete the balance shoot, because they're all grand films with a lot of crowd in the set. And
Right.
how they're going to shoot, I really don't know. And the governments are very scary about it. Governments are very scary about allowing large crowd in a shooting spot. Now, we are going to see a lot of delay in big budget films.
Okay.
Lot of delay. Big budget films are going to delay in the sense like, they'll wait and watch before commencing the shoot. And they will look at, whether firstly government will allow for the shoot. Secondly, such kind of budget is going to be affordable. And thirdly, what kind of subjects going to work. And fourthly, how the theaters are going to run.
Right.
Is it, the same number of theaters are going to run? Or what will happen to theater model? Suppose tomorrow the people are coming, lesser number to theater. Lot of theaters will go out of business.
Absolutely.
Okay. Then how are you going to release your film? If the theaters are going to be lesser in number, you are not going to recover your money through theater. Right now, let's not forget it. Theatrical revenue contributes to 60% in Indian cinema.
Right.
If you take Indian cinema, something like 18,000 crores or 19,000 crores, 10,000 to 11,000 crore revenue comes from theatrical business, which is box office. I'm
Right.
talking about only the ticket collection. Okay, I'm not including the revenues come to F&B, online ticketing, and all this stuff. That is additional. That will another 50%. Okay. Now, if you take 10,000 crore minimum is coming from domestic theatrical in India across the country, if that model is going to collapse due to any reason because of this COVID and because of the impact continuing among the people, that is going to be catastrophic to the whole industry. because where are you going to get the revenue? How are you going to survive? You have committed all the film with such big budget. How are you going to actually recover? Because 60% revenue you are actually budgeted from theatrical revenue.
Right.
If 60% revenue is not going to come from theatrical revenue, how are you going to make it happen? Who's going to compensate the loss? Who's going to compensate? Is satellite channel is going to suddenly increase the cost of acquiring? No way. They are not going to increase their cost. Okay. Is digital is suddenly going to compensate you for the entire loss of theatrical? No way. So nobody can compensate a theatrical revenue loss. In fact, I can tell you, theatrical revenue is a huge chunk of Indian film industry. 60 to 70% comes from Indian film industry's theatrical revenue. So no one can ignore theatrical revenue. Everyone should be careful about it, and everyone should be watchful of its survival. That survival alone will enable us to continue producing in the current budget what we are doing. If theatrical model collapses due to any reason, touch wood, it should not happen. If it collapses, and number of theaters come down, it is going to be disaster for all the films it's undermaking right now, or for any film which are planned in the future, because they are not going to make it happen. They are not going to recover their cost. Impossible.
Right. So I do understand that, what you're saying, the theatrical model gives us 60% of the revenue, which is a huge chunk for which, the industry, the kind of investments they have made at this point in time. But having said that, what is going to happen to theaters? Because right now the situation is not great. Whether theaters will open in the next 3 to 4 months, one does not know. And even if they open, there are going to be health and safety issues. What is going to be the capacity at which it is going to be filled? Because it is definitely, if we take into account social distancing, then they're not going to allow all the seats to be filled to capacity. They're going to, have empty seats in between and so on and so forth. Will that work? Do you think that model is going to work? And if at all, when that is even likely to happen?
Okay, I have one confidence in public. Okay, we are addicted to, in Tamil Nadu. Let me talk about Tamil Nadu, but I can also say for South India. Okay, or for the sake UP, or I can talk about any place. Look at the liquor. The kind of addiction people have for liquor. Okay, they just open up. Uttar Pradesh records 225 crore on the first day. Okay, and Karnataka opens up and 45 crore. And God willing, I'm saying that tomorrow when it's open up in Tamil Nadu, it might beat the record of doing some 100 crore. I'm talking about, despite the fact, for 45 days there is no revenue to the people. I'm talking about those people who are daily, people. Wage earners also, they're all getting into buying liquor, because that is their that is their biggest requirement for survival. Similarly, Indian cinema, I'm talking about Indian film audience, are very much addicted to cinema. One can't ignore that. One can't say that no, we are not addicted. If they are not addicted, then they'll not be flocking television channels and OTT platform and watching all kind of films today. They're all everyone is indulging in learning something else, right? This is a lockdown period. Let me learn something new. That's not happening. In fact, the latest survey says in the last 4 weeks, the number of people watching in television has gone up by something like 50%. The number of people watching OTT platform films gone up by 56%. That's what the survey says. That means so much of addiction is there for watching film. And people are going to watch films. And they are not going to come out of watching film. And especially a new film releasing of a big star or a medium star, and with a lot of curiosity around the film, they will come to the theater. The only thing is, are we taking sufficient safety measures which gives them confidence to come and watch in the theater? See, today, look at it. Government has taken whatever initiative possible. You are seeing, people flocking on the road without any fear. You see them, are they not afraid of it? Why they are all, crowded, overcrowded? We are seeing in Coimbatore market or any market, such kind of crowd. How do you see it? You see it because people are confident, saying that, it's okay, yaar. Arey, kuch nahi hoga. We will come out of it. Nothing to worry. And I went out to meet the, and lots of people.
I think there is a fundamental difference between what you are saying, about people going in the road and buying liquor and vegetables. Now, one, as far as grocery shopping goes, it is a fundamental need, right? We have to buy groceries. That is something which you cannot live without.
Is liquor fundamental?
Liquor is not fundamental. I absolutely agree. But then again, given the fact that you're stuck at home and there's nothing else to do, I think people have gotten so frustrated, right? But which is why they're going and buying liquor and enjoying themselves at home. Now, as far as entertainment is concerned, I absolutely agree. All Indians, irrespective of which state they're from, we are film crazy. We are cinema crazy. But with regard to increase in television watching and OTT, that is happening because we're stuck at home, right? There is a safety net within our house. Going to the theater, what is the safety net? That, I think, is the most important aspect. What safety measures are theater owners going to give the audience for them to feel confident?
That will happen. I'm telling you very clearly. Theatre owners are very clear. In fact, today, all India level, people are talking about opening up theatre in June.
Right.
Okay. At least they will open up with the multiplexes. Okay. They will open up multiplexes, which are actually promising that we'll take care of safety measures, which is like practicing social distance and as well as sanitizing the whole place and bringing in all, clean system and, people with only mask allowed, like in foreign countries today.
Right.
Let's look at, a developed country like Spain and all allowed theatres with 25% capacity,
right,
which are hugely impacted by Corona. Let's
absolutely
not ignore that.
Yes.
Like Spain and Italy allowed theatres with the 25% capacity. We are reading. In fact, I'm amazed. There, almost 30,000 people died and the theatres are allowed at 25% capacity.
Right.
So why not we allow with 50% capacity in India, which didn't have such kind of fatal death? Okay, now I'm not saying that government is going to allow just like that. We have to take all the safety measure and people life is very important.
Right.
I'm not denying it. But I'm saying that theatres are not going to go shut continuously. If tomorrow government of Tamil Nadu says from 1st June, theatres are allowed to open, multiplexes are allowed to open, provided blah, 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 1, 2, 3, 4 conditions are met, they will do it. Immediately they will do it. And I can promise you, people will come in 25% capacity. Because in any industry or any trade or any life cycle, if you look at it, there will be early movers who are willing to take the bet.
Right.
They will come. Because they want to proudly go and claim, nothing will happen to me. I have taken all the vaccine and I'm like completely, safe from all this, but I'm sitting in a distance also. Now let's look at, number of people who come to the theatre. Let's look at it. If you go from Monday to Thursday, most of the theatre you would have seen it, it is only 25% occupancy.
Absolutely.
Like people sitting in very corner. In fact, many a time when I went to multiplex to watch a film on a Monday or a Tuesday, because I normally go on a Monday or Tuesday, because I want to watch the lesser crowd, because it's not, I don't want people to sitting next to me. And believe me, when I went there, I never saw people sitting next to me in my row. Okay, that kind of scenario, I'll be more comfortable going sit and watch. Why not?
Right.
Tell me, if every row, there are only 2 people going to sit with, 3 seats are vacant. I'm talking about. I don't have any problem to go and sit.
But
as
is it
long as I wear
viable
a
for the
mask.
theatres? Is it viable for the theatres to, allow them to be open at 25% capacity? Because it's the cost of AC, the operational costs are going to be huge for them, isn't it? Again, here.
Okay, let me tell you, already they're running at that kind of capacity only, I'm telling you. So, all India level, the average capacity of a theatre running is 35% to 40%.
Okay.
That is in a week if you take it. How it works is, during a weekend it will be 60 to 70%. During weekdays it will be 20%.
Right.
The average comes to 35 to 40%. This is a theatrical model, which is what the number I have. Okay, now the theatres always run unless there is a huge film comes in, like a war, or for example, a Salman Khan or a Shah Rukh film comes in, or an Amir Khan film comes in, with a lot of craze across the country, the weekend may be 100% going full for all the multiplexes. But other than that, normally they go at 60% weekend full. Okay, and weekdays will be 20-25%. So we are talking about an average of 35% to 40%. Now it will come down to 25%. At least for the theatre, instead of running, closing down a theatre and not in a position to pay rent and not in a position to pay all the salaries, they'll be able to do. And the biggest loser is going to be the producer. Please think about that. The producer who releases a film, he is going to get on a 25% capacity, 50% revenue.
Okay.
Normally, that's what the theatre will pay. So the loss is going to come on the producer. But why would the producer will release a film? Instead of getting stuck with the film, I'm not able to exploit it, I'll rather release a film, because I don't know when theatre will be occupied fully with 65% capacity. I'll rather release a film, because it's the right opportunity for me to get the audience. So I am very confident about it, Lata, is that our people are all, with a lot of guts. Okay, they will go and take the risk. Okay, in the sense like I'm not taking a risk on life. They will say, I am willing to go and watch a film because I don't have any problem. Because that's a way we are seeing them doing it today. When the whole lockdown is remote step by step, you see the kind of crowd coming in. Today, T Nagar is crowded. Okay, the shops are open and people are crowded to go to textile shop and jewelry shop. We are seeing it now. Now, obviously, isn't that can't wait? Textile buying can't wait. The jewelry buying can't wait or what? But people are rushing. The only reason is like, it is a habit of the people. You can't take away overnight. And people are
Absolutely.
habituated to go to a theater and watch a film and experience that, film. Now, that is not going to go away. And I am very confident, may not be in June, hopefully
Right.
in June, but may not be in June. But
Right.
July, we are going to see, we are going to debate about the occupancy at that time. Maybe one more call, we'll do it on Instagram. But I can tell you, in July, you will see theaters definitely running with films.
Okay. So you're very confident that within the next 3 months, this will change. Films will release in the theaters. But there are a lot of films, like you said, big budget films also, which are stuck in production, small and big budget films. Now, that is going to take a very long time for them to come out of it because one doesn't know, how soon this COVID is going to, where the curve is going to flatten. Because at this point, I don't even think we've reached the peak as far as
Right.
India is concerned. But having said that, what happens to all those who are employed within the film industry? I'm not talking about the producers, the directors, or the heroes and the technicians. What happens to all the light boys? What happens to all those daily wage workers within the film industry? The job losses there are going to be huge. How is the film industry going to cope with all this? Is there some kind of strategy? Has there been some thought on this?
I'll tell you, the most affected people are, one is that, people working in the film industry at the ground level, which is in the shooting spot,
Right.
and also in the post production. Okay, all those who are working in the production and post production are severely affected. Something like 25,000 people who are employed are jobless today. In fact, that's the reason why we appeal to the government of Tamil Nadu to at least allow the post production so that 1,000, 2,000 people will be employed rather
Right.
than, everybody going jobless and without income. Okay, that is one segment of people who are totally affected, and the other segment of people who are totally affected is the theater employees. If you look at it, lot of theaters are not paying the salary to the workers there. If you
Right.
take, in Tamil Nadu,
Hmm.
we have 1,000 theaters, and an average, 10 people. If you take it,
Hmm.
10,000 people are employed. I'm talking about workers. 10,000
Right.
people are employed, and all of them are lost. All of them lost their job or their revenue. In fact, some of the multiple chains, they are paying 50% and all, but most of them, I'm not sure about whether they are paying, even 50%. Now, just imagine the kind of people who are suffering. They're all at their lowest level, which is I'm talking about the workers in the theater, cleaning workers, the ticket, counters, and the people who are serving in the F&B and parking, and all the people are completely lost their jobs or lost their revenue. And
Right.
similarly, if you take, all the people who are working in film shooting, they are all suffering. Today, everyone is trying their best. I'm talking about the producers, the association Pepsi is trying their best to contribute to the people by collecting money and giving them, but that's not enough. Just imagine a worker, in Pepsi worker who is earning every day 1,000 rupees. Okay, and he works 25 days, not less than 25, 27 days he works. In
Right.
fact, Pepsi workers have only 2 holidays in a month. Okay,
Right.
they work 28 days. In a 28-day cycle, he'll be earning 28,000, and he's been given peanuts, 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees, and rice bag and all this. How does will meet its need? 28,000 is like minimum he earns every month. I'm talking
Right.
about the lowest level worker. 25,000 to 28,000 he earns every month. And suddenly you're going and telling him that I will pay 2,000, 3,000. That's nowhere going to be sufficient. The people are surviving only by their savings or by borrowing money or, in the sense like taking all the rice, support, everything, somehow surviving. So all of them are in desperate need. The industry comes back. Industry comes back to working and bringing them the work again and getting them the revenue what is required for them, the salaries and payments and all. I really wish that shooting is allowed at least at the minimum scale in the month of June. See,
Okay.
firstly, the government, the request is made is like at least you allow the Chinnathirai, which is a television
Television.
shooting. There,
Right.
there is something like 6,000 people are employed, and the
Right.
6,000 people at least will get their jobs. So the request made is like 30 to 40 people will be employed. Please allow them to get the shooting. One is serials are not coming in, fresh episodes.
Right.
The other is like all the people,
Yeah.
the 5,000, 6,000 people are jobless.
I was about to
Now, at
ask
least-
you that. Sorry to interrupt. That is the other
Yeah.
aspect that I was, going to ask you, because as far as entertainment is concerned, whether it's on television or OTT platforms, right now there's a dearth of content. because all
Yeah.
shooting has stopped. So, which means
Yeah. Correct.
there's no production and there's no fresh content which is coming in for them as well, which
Correct.
is again going to be a problem in the next few months.
Correct.
Because you can't, while we reran the Ramayana and it had the highest number of views ever, that is not that is not going to be true for every single old serial that we decide to rerun or film that we decide to watch. So that is going to be again a huge problem for the entertainment industry. Now, in this scenario, talking about OTT and films, are filmmakers looking at creating specific content for OTT platforms, given that, they're against selling the large-scale films and even films which are specifically made for theater to be released directly? Are they looking at making OTT content now? So that there are two streams of content production that are happening simultaneously.
It is happening. All the filmmakers are being approached by OTT platform to make original content. In fact,
Right.
they are bringing out, every director is telling me that they are working on a OTT platform. In fact, that is a very welcoming, opportunity. Filmmakers who don't have any film right now, they're all given opportunity by OTT platform to make a film.
Right.
They are saying that, you make a OTT film and they are willing to give original series and original film. And,
Right.
in 100 minutes, you can experiment, you can make a film. The only thing is
Right.
the constraint is going to be the budget. Okay, they are not going to
Obviously.
give you that
Yeah.
kind of huge budget, but they are willing to give a decent budget with which, the director can be employed and then, he can experiment with the content.
Right.
So, in fact, every filmmaker today is very busy. Okay.
Okay.
If people who made wonderful films in the past, they have a good concept, every OTT platform is willing to look at them and give them an opportunity. So
But,
I know pretty well because a lot of filmmakers are telling me how busy they are right now, writing for OTT platform and trying to make them as soon as possible.
Absolutely. I think the web series is a great way for filmmakers to go, even newcomers and those who are, big filmmakers. But then here again, I think there is a need to understand for the well-established filmmakers that making a web series is not similar to making a movie on screen. I think that distinction has to come, and they also have to have good in-depth understanding of that. Because
Correct.
the two platforms are absolutely different and you cannot approach it. The audiences are different. You cannot approach it the same way. So I think there are
Sure.
lessons for them as well in this. My last and final question to you, sir, I think is a very important one in this scenario. Yesterday Vijay Antony had said he was going to take a pay cut because of the current situation and because of what people are going through and the job losses. Don't you think, this is a debate which has been ongoing for some time, don't you think that actors, heroes especially, should relook at their salaries, given the current scenario and given the state the economy is in, because it's going to take at least another 2 or 3 years for even the film industry to really get back on its feet and come back to normal again?
Yeah, 100%, Lata. I can tell you, we all thank Vijay Antony for being a pioneer in voluntarily coming forward and accepting 25% salary cut. In fact, we all raised with him that he is actually currently busy in 4 or 5 films and 3 films for this year and 2 films for next year. And when the discussion came in, we were discussing about the budget of the film has to come down by 25 to 30%. And the first person he came forward and said, "Sir, let me take the salary cut of 25%.
Right.
Okay, I know I've been earning good money, but now it is not the time for me to demand such kind of money. I will take 25% cut and please, negotiate with everybody and make sure that, you complete the film and release it. In case you make money, you make profit, try and give me. If you don't make profit, it's okay. Let's forget that particular money which I paid off." Every artist and technician have to look at it seriously. Today,
Right.
the artist and technician have to make sure the producers survive. The producers are all in, deep problem today to pay back the interest and to pay the capital. We don't know how we are going to pay. In
Right.
fact, last 2 months, a lot of producers, including me, we are not able to pay our interest. We are not able to pay our interests, to the lenders, and we are requesting them, saying that no, sir, we are not in a position to pay. We'll pay in July. Now, tell me, in July, how are you going to pay? If the
Yeah,
industry
absolutely.
shutdown continued
Yeah.
in some way, we promised them to pay in July because it is their business model, right? It is their business where they lent the money and I have to pay them interest back. But how do I pay the interest and along with the capital if I don't have the wherewithal to recover the money? So there is a huge challenge producers are facing. In this situation, it's a responsibility of every artist and technician to support the producers. not just one or two. Everyone should support. Everyone should come forward and say either they can do one thing. They say like Vijay Antony came forward and said, I'm taking 25% slash. The other option is saying, okay, keep the salary as it is. If you make money, you give me the money. If you don't make money, that money, let it be written off. Okay, that's the best way to do, because Hindi cinema works that way. Hindi cinema takes a very lower salary, and the overflow, they take 33% share.
Right.
If the film doesn't make overflow, they don't demand anything. All the artists and technicians, what they can say is, depending on their remuneration, they can talk about simply saying, sir, I will take, no salary cut. Okay, let's take 25%. My salary is 1 crore. 25 lakhs, let's park aside. Don't pay me now.
Right.
If your film makes 1 crore profit, give me the 25 lakhs. Otherwise, don't give me.
Right.
No, that itself is a big assurance. No, today the biggest problem we are facing is, unless I pay the 25 lakhs to him, the film will not release, because he might complain to the association saying that I have not been fully paid. So all the producers are looking for is this support from artists and technicians. Right. So we are very confident they will take a leap out of Vijay Antony. They will come forward and they will give some way to the producers to come out of this situation, which is very challenging and very, very difficult situation. Every producer I know personally, those who have films on the floor and those who are not completed, not able to release a film, I can tell you, they are all with huge, interest burden for the last 2 months. And it's going to only mount up further. We are all afraid of it. And unless artists and technicians come forward and support, we are going to be in a huge problem.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me in this conversation. I think you said a lot of interesting things, and I think the viewers who joined in also asked some questions, which I managed to throw at you. And a lot of key things that you said. I hope that the film industry, we get to see theaters open soon, and Corona is somehow tackled, and the film industry also sees a slow revival, because I think it's very important, especially for all those people employed, the daily wage workers in the film industry. It's a huge, loss for them in terms of financials. And I think it's all the artists and the others who can afford to, help them at this point by taking a salary cut or by taking a deferment, in terms of payment, in whatever ways they can to help the film industry get back on its feet. And I hope we all sail through this coronavirus crisis, successfully and safely. Thank you so much for joining in. It was wonderful speaking to you, and we will definitely do another Insta Live soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really hopeful that we'll come out of this very, very soon, and I'm very positive and very confident. Industry will come on its feet very, very soon. Let's all be hopeful and confident. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.